To do a spine car, we need to make sure that our pelvis doesn't move. So imagine that you're standing in concrete from the hips down. To keep pelvic motion out of the spine car, I would suggest squeezing your glutes and flexing your thighs. As long as you can keep the muscles of your legs and your glutes flexed, that should pretty much keep you from flexing at the hip or turning at the hips. One more good cue would be to imagine that you have headlights on the front of your hips, shining on the wall in front of you. As you're doing the spine car, try to keep the headlights in the same spot on the wall rather than letting them swing left or right or point down or up. So the spine car is the same motions as the neck car. Forward flexion, rotation, side bending, extension, side bending, rotating, and forward flexion. It's a big old circle. Let me show you how it works. First, set your feet, picture that concrete, get your tension in your legs and your glutes. Start with your arms across your shoulders. Collapse your spine down into flexion. You're going to try to bring your collarbones as close to your belt as possible. When you're stuck, next we rotate. You're going to turn to one side. Your gaze is straight down, and we're turning that gaze around one side. I'm trying to look down my right thigh here. When I can't rotate any farther, I'm going to blend this into a side bend. So I'm going to dip my right shoulder back toward my right back pocket, bending my spine to the side. From here, I'm going to start circling behind me, moving into extension. I'm going to try to not use my neck, so I'm just arching my back, so my chin is in the same position as before. From here, I'm going to move to a side bend to my left, so I'm going to send my left shoulder down toward my left hip pocket. When I'm stuck in this side bend, next I'm going to rotate. Be careful here, this is where a lot of people tend to move their pelvis, so keep your hips facing forward as you try to rotate down that side before crumpling back down in front. And then we uncurl to reset. Let me show you one rep from the side. So again, glutes on, thighs on. Crumple down. Flexing the upper spine, middle spine, lower spine. Here, again, collarbones as close to the belt as I can. Glutes are still on to ensure I haven't flexed into my hip. Then I'll rotate. Gaze is still facing down when I'm stuck. Drop the shoulder on that side toward the floor, moving into a side bend. If we were drawing a circle here, the circle will be drawn with the base of our neck. So swing that circle back behind you. As you move into this zone of extension, we want to make sure we're using our entire spine equally and not just making a kink at one spot. So try to pause here and ensure you're getting equal contribution from all of your spinal segments. Then dip into a side bend on the opposite side. So I'm going to go right shoulder toward right hip. When I can't side bend any farther, I'm going to turn and look down that side before crumpling back into forward flexion. When I'm back in front, I'm going to uncurl the way I came, and voila, we have a spine car.